Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. This day, Friday, 18th of June, the 9th of May, in the 9th year of Chongalguk. So let's, as always, offer a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. From where? Hello. Let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전맨세 7. 전일국 주인, 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심전 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 7. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Josephina Swafa if she could offer the opening prayer, please.
Prayer. Good morning, our dearest Heavenly Parents. Thank you so much that we can come together as one family from all different walks of life. We're so grateful for our true parents that we can be together and bridge the barrier among us. And we thank you so much for today. Please be with us so that we can receive the word and we can surely practice it in our daily life. Please guide Reverend Yutaka so that you can speak through him and we can receive it with all our heart. I pray this in my name, Josephina of City and Josephina Swafa, blessed center family. Adieu.
Thank you. And let's offer a greeting to Reverend as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining today's morning from the K. Today is also a new, beautiful morning. We will have an excitement for new creation together with our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Let's have a great time together with our all brothers and sisters also. So now we are sharing about True Mother's autobiography. And from yesterday, we entered to the new chapter, creating the road to one world. So we can see our next providence or next vision. One street, one global neighborhood. So when we see the society, all society was separated by border of the nation, religion, and culture. So how we can connect everything and unite together. So this part, True Mother is sharing to us, so we could see that. So those movement and those providence not only will be connected by culture or ideology, but also connected by physical load. This is the True Parents' vision, and this is called as International Highway Project. So True Parents announced and proclaimed in 1981, and one of the project, there is Korea-Japan Peace Bridge Project. This is going on. So 2016, True Mother also went to Karatsu in Japan and encouraged that. So we could see how we can bring the peace, how we can settle the peace in the nation and the world. So we will read a continuation from yesterday. This is the True Mother's autobiography. So let's see that. The reality is, however, that these two nations pursue their own interest, I encourage their leaders to think about England and France, who waged wars against each other for a century, yet joined bands to build the Channel Tunnel that connects them together. If the Korean and Japanese peoples open their heart and accomplish genuine forgiveness and reconciliation, we will see the Korea-Japan peace tunnel built in our time. This tunnel will not just symbolize but realize humanity's future based not on fear but on hope. So International Highway Project, Korea-Japan Peace Tunnel. So battle or conflict between Korea and Japan is historical things. And Mada is mentioning the relationship between England and France. So yesterday someone also mentioned about this project and tunnel between England and France, right? These two nations are also long time historically sometimes they became the enemy or historical nations, this relationship England and France. How was that now? England, France, British, their relationship was no problem now because of effort, contribution and investment. So Mada is mentioning this both nation, they overcome and they created the channel tunnel between these two nations. So how we can solve this kind of historical problem? This is really important. Not only England and France, not only Korea and Japan, everywhere we could see the historical national conflict and the problem. If we see or if each nation just looking at centering on own national interest or benefit or centering on own individual thinking, those historical matter is difficult to overcome. It's difficult to overcome those historical matter. That's why when we see our true parents' providence, how he and she invested in order to overcome those historical problems. So through our two parents, actually, we could learn and we could find their effort, vision, and investment. So even every country, even any country, or even any people, actually, all of them, all of us are the foreign lineage. There is no relationship with God. There is no relationship with heaven. Actually, this is the root. Not only just Korea, Japan, or Australia, or just national problem. Actually, we are not relating with God. No, we are not relating with heavenly parents, God's lineage. This is the problem. That's why true parents came here and to give this solution and to solve this problem, to change the lineage from Satan's side to God's side. And fundamentally, if our all human beings, if they receive blessing and to change the lineage and to become God's son and daughters, centering on our heavenly parents, to become the season of heaven, become the season of Chonikuk, then we could overcome national boundary, national conflict, and we could connect together as one family and one season of Chonikuk. So between Korea and Japan, two parents really invested in order to solve that. In 1988, there was 6,500 blessing ceremony. So that blessing time, especially many couple were matched between Korea and Japan. So there are many kind of Korean Japanese couple blessing that time. So we could see those historical family. Korea and Japan is enemy nation, but father gave the matching between Korea and Japan. I'm not sure Is there 6,500 or Korea-Japan couple in today among us? Nobody, right? So those historical blessing Korea and Japan, when we see their family, there's many challenging and suffering and also painful and really many overcoming environment. So to parents through the blessing also try to solve that problem between Korea and Japan, between also Germany and Jewish, between also Christian and Muslim. I think our blessing also same, your blessing also same. Different nation and different culture to the parents gave the blessing, and in order to solve the problem and in order to create the new future, to the parents gave the blessing and matching. So through those providence, we could see from our next generation, we could see the new history and new lineage. So we are talking about the Korea-Japan Peace Project, but really through the several way, this highway, international highway project, blessing or business or many field, really three parents invest to solve the problem, to bring all people to back to our heavenly parents, back to God. So how we can solve our individualism and to going back to our heavenly parents. So we could see those providence. So how our international highway project is one of the hope and one of the vision. So now we are connected through internet, and same time we can connect through the physical road. So we are the one who are standing the center of the providence and creating the history. My husband and I therefore pray that constructing this tunnel as part of the Peace Highway would create a low pressure area on the Korean Peninsula, into which the high pressure areas surrounding the peninsula to the east and west would converge to bring unity on the peninsula. Looking at the map with a motherly heart, I feel as if the island and continent long for each other, and the peninsula is where they meet. So continent and peninsula and island, there is each background or special culture, but mother said, when mother see the map with motherly heart, mother feel as if the island and continent long for each other, and the peninsula is where they meet. So all place and nation, actually, they are also willing to meet and connect each other. The second major challenge for the International Peace Highway is that of crossing the Bering Strait between Russia and the United States. That location will prove to be even more challenging than the Korean Strait. The Bering Strait once represented the ideological divide between the democratic and communist camps, as the United States and Russia grapple with each other. Connecting these two nations is a vital step toward global peace and unification. So this is also one of the projects. Yesterday, Reverend Stone shared about some documentary. Last night, I'm not sure someone watched that documentary. Someone watched this documentary things? Yes, Mr. Ryan. Yes. Okay. Mr. also, Mrs. Jacinta also. So really, those project is going on and showing how our UPF initiative and investment and America and Russia, actually, they are two of the main nation in the world, and they are leading the society in the past also. America is leading the democratic world, and Russia and Soviet Union was leading the communist society. So this kind of two nations. So what is the project of Bering Strait? This is the project to trying to connect these both big nations. So three parents proclaim Bering Strait once represented the ideological divide between the democratic and communist camps. As the United States and Russia grappled with each other, connecting these two nations is a vital step toward global peace and unification. So I want everyone to be able to travel the International Peace Highway by car or even bicycle from Cape Town to Santiago, from London to New York. I want taking a trip with your sweetheart through any country around the world to be as easy as visiting your hometown. One end of the highway will be the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa. The other end will be Cape Horn at the southern tip of South America. It will cross the Bering Strait to link the African continent and Eurasia and with American. So this is also Mother sharing this vision. So finally, vision will create the future by one road. All road will be connected to the world, and because this road, all nation will be connected, and all people can share and meet each other. So through father and through mother, showing this vision and leading the world providence. So one family under God is not only just motto. This is reality, and this is a real plan and real proposal and real project, and we are creating together. So World Peace Road Foundation and Peace Road. So we could see this one. A project to bring the world together as one. The International Peace Highway is a project to bring the world together as one. To become one means more than simply connecting continent by tunnel and bridge. It refers to an equalization of the world's standards of living. So not only just connected by physical road, also all nations have to be equalization together, live together, spend together, and also joyful together. So this is the project. Yesterday also showed that things. So this map is connected from Oceania to Asia and Europe and Africa. So this northern part of Australia to Papua New Guinea, how is this? Is that possible? Yeah. And yesterday, high-speed ferry, right? Yeah, high-speed ferry project, I think looks good also. Then we can go to everywhere. And even three parents has the vision about helicopter. I'm not sure, recently we are not hear so much about helicopter, but also helicopter project, high-speed ferry project, or everything is good to connect with each nation and beyond the nation, right? So we could see this highway project. And this is the place linking Russia and America. So this is the Bering Strait. Try to create. So still long way to go, but already plan is going on. The special project Bering Strait Peace King Tunnel, a project to unite the entire world, 52-mile undersea tunnel, 25,000 mile international highway. So this is one of the vision and our UPF project. So like this. So if these things will be established, how much great. But there is vision or there is plan, meaning is already completed of halfway. That's why already we could see this kind of vision and plan. Surely we can do that. That's why just important things is how we can reduce the time. Only time matter, but surely this moment will be coming and this come true. So those things. So during our lifetime, mother say during our lifetime, do we have to fulfill that? So what do you think? Do you want to go to this undersea and do you want to ride this train under Bering Strait? How much great! And we could see beautiful things. This is our imagination and this is our dream together and create together like this. Well, high speed from all place. So this is the plan. Yes, so some of the place already have some construction. So we need to do it together. This, like this. So a project to bring the world together as one. Building the International Peace Highway does more than just provide the world with a physical means of communication. Human beings are created so that their mind and body become one. Something similar is true for the world we live in. The world can be completely unified only when there is both physical communication and communication of heart. That's why inside of this project also there is heaven's message and there is also True Parents message there. You could see. From the perspective of this highway, Korea will be the midpoint. By heaven's grace, the birthplace of the True Parents, for whom humankind has long awaited, will be at the very center. Many people question how we can accomplish such a formidable task. Yet history shows that all great achievements have come amid difficulties. If it is the will of God, there must be a way. We already have the engineering prowess to construct a bridge tunnel complex spanning the Bering Strait. Concerning the cost, we need to put it in perspective. So Trimada is sharing about Korea, Korean nation, and also all human beings was waited for the Messiah and the True Parents, and Korea is as the chosen nation. Korea was prepared by God, and finally True Parents arrived to Korea. So where is Korea? So True Mother mentioned Korea's position is the center of the world. So you can see the map. So Korea's position, anyway, we see, but really we could see Korea is the center of the world map and the world. So True Parents arrive at this nation. Australia is also center, and Papua New Guinea also center. Something center, everywhere center, but Korea is the center of center, and Mother mentioning this nation is the midpoint of international highway project. So we could see this all red color is the road, and every road is coming to this Korean peninsula, this place. So come to this place and going to other place. So really Korea is the central place. So what kind of history Korea has? Korea, even in the historically, Korea received many invasion from another country, and they are suffering and they receive many challenging over 5,000 years, but continuously they endure and patient and patient and patient. Even they receive invasion, but they never invade another country. So we could see how Korea, how God prepared the nation of Korea. Many religion was fruitful in that place, and the Korean people because overcoming or experience or endure the suffering. That's why they could understand the God's heart. Who is God? What is the God's heart? God is the one who suffer most and painful and patient and endure. That's why always when we see the history, central figure or important person or God's person, they go through the suffering way, suffering course, and the painful course. And Korea also same. Korea went through suffering and enduring and patient because in order to know, inherit God's heart. So finally, true parents alive and true parents was born in Korea. So we could see, Mother said, yet history shows that all great achievement has come amid difficulties. So when we see the history, when we try to do, even true parents try to do the new providence, always challenging and difficulty is coming. But if this is God's will, surely there is a way and totally unite with heaven. And we could see the history already. From the beginning, true father and true mother, that time there was nothing, already small and poor, nothing but how about our world environment and foundation, because there is God's will. That's why there is the way. Our place also same. Individual level also same. Our family level also same. Tribe level also same. There is God's will. There is God's plan. That's why surely there is the way. We are the one as the central figure. We are the central figure in each field. We totally unite with our heavenly parents and create the will of God in my family, in my tribe, in my society, nation, and world together. So we are living the great age now. And we have a great, our brothers and sisters and family together. Compared to the money that the world is investing in wars that do nothing but destroy nations and people. The cost of a bridge tunnel constructed for the sake of peace is insignificant. Nations and movements sacrifice lives and resources following the logic of power, a foolish and ineffective way to resolve perceived injustice or settle disputes. Our Heavenly Parent is showing us the path of true peace. As the book of Isaiah says, now is a time to beat our sword into plowshares. When we see the problem in the society and nation, finally those problem is connected and based on the selfishness or individualism. Only myself, only my family, only my nation. This ideology, selfishness, is the problem and starting point. That's why many nations earn money but make a weapon and fight for all nations. So how we can show the vision of world peace? So this Peace King Bridge project is actually one of the great projects to show the peace, to gather the people beyond the nation, races, and nationality. This can become the hope. I have mentioned the Peace Road project. It consists of events in which people of all ages and nationalities wearing Peace Road t-shirts and carrying a Peace Road flag ride bicycle or walk to show their support for our proposed International Peace Highway. Their path ends at local government center where official and social and religious leaders speak at rallies, publicly announcing their support for the initiative and stimulating publicity in local media. So this Peace Road project is the method and the way to to share the vision of international highway. So this photo is from Australia, Sydney, right? 2015, and each nation had the project. So when we organize the Peace Road project, we can do many kind of way. Just walking also, and just use the bicycle. Bicycle is also one of the way, but in the same time, we can gather 2,000 or 3,000 people together, and we can create family working project, 3 kilometer, 5 kilometer, together with family and together with government. And even some nation is using motorcycle, and some nation is using the horse. In Mongolia Peace Road, they are using horse to do the Peace Road project. So we can create any kind of Peace Road project according to your national or your city situation. So ladies, leaders and citizens of many countries, including members of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace, have welcomed the Peace Road movement in 2015. People in more than 120 countries participated. All together, the Peace Rider that year symbolically traversed the world in 93 days. That's why centering on vision, Trimada also started this Peace Road project in 2015 in 120 countries for 93 days. How we can prepare and how we can create the vision. This is really important. Actually, I prepared this photo for 120 countries, but I think already time passed. I will show the Asian Pacific one only. Just quickly, this is the 120 nations in the world. So really, many nations organized. MADA started this one in Las Vegas. So this is Korea. You could see many, and Japan, North America, each city, Central America, also South America, many places, 120, Africa, really almost many nations did the Peace Road. In Europe also, you could see many projects in Middle East, and this Asia. So this is because Asian Pacific, you could see this Asia. In the Asian launching is in Cambodia, they did also, and Nepal, Hong Kong, Taiwan, India, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, this Asia. Mongolia, you can see the horse. Mongolia also using horse, and Cambodia. Malaysia, that time we did around 2,000 people's Peace Road. This is really great project together with government, and also Thailand things. And Oceania also we organized. You could see the Fiji, Vanuatu, New Zealand, Australia, Solomon Island, Marshall Island, Kiribati, like this. Yes. So anyway, now really we could see all project and activity, and parents is organizing the providence, but we are doing many kind of event and activity and providence, but also we should not forget everything. There is internal purpose, there is heavenly parents will and heaven's hope. If we are not connecting this internal part, then just we are doing some activity, event, then we don't have anything remaining in our heart and in our place. That's why, of course, we are going together with three parents to create the peace through many kind of project. Then in the same time, what's really heavenly parents plan, hope, wish through this project? So today, Mother also sharing through Mother's autobiography, behind the plan behind of the project, and the message behind the project. We are talking about the International Highway project, and Korea-Japan project, and the Bering Strait and Peace Road. everything we try to restore original ideal world in this place and return back all human beings to our heavenly parents. So every moment is the creating new history. All our brothers and sisters, really put our heart and put our effort, connect with our heavenly parents and connect with our true mother, and let's create and return the happiness, victory to our heavenly parents and true parents. So once again, our all brothers and sisters, thank you for joining today's Hundokei. Today is also a beautiful day. Let's have a great moment. Thank you very much once again. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka. Wow. Sort of, yeah. Wow, the Peace Road is quite an amazing venture to see the Bering Strait really traversed. It will be, I like to see it in our home lifetime and drive along it. Yeah. Anyway, I've got a cold, so I don't really want to talk much. So go ahead. Who'd like to go first? Yeah, we've got first was Chris, then Doug. Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, morning everyone. I've got 2 points about the tunnel, and I hope everyone don't misinterpret my words, but I struggled with the tunnel. I couldn't really connect with it too much. There was something missing for me, and then it's a great project, no doubt about that. But in my mind, to be honest, through cooperation, all the things we're talking about could have been done without the tunnels. But I couldn't work it out. What was missing for me? It's not the fact that I was negative about the project. It's an amazing project. Now we are all wanting to go on it now. But still, my spirit world was telling me there's something more. And this morning we heard a little bit about the internal meaning, of course, the motivation and how it'll change people's hearts. But still, my spirit world wasn't satisfied. And you've got to remember, I joined in 1981, and this was one of the first things we heard about. And all these years, I've been having this feeling with me every time I heard about the tunnel. Even when I read the peace speeches, it mentions it in there in the first peace speech, and I would just skip over it. I was so frustrated with it. Anyway, then finally, not long ago, a couple of years ago, I came across Father's words, and he said, when these tunnels are completed, when this road is completed, the spirit world will be open for people to freely travel back and forwards from the spirit world. And then I realized that is the answer that I was looking for. And this, you know, people may sit there and think, well, oh, but spirits come now, and, you know, we have returning ancestors and all that. But those spirits are not free to come and go as they please. And I always used to wonder, when members, brothers and sisters, go into the spirit world, why don't they ever come back? Why don't we hear from them? We hear from some selected people, but not much. And then I remember saying to Neil de Geer about that, and he said, oh, I'm going to try to come back. And I said, well, don't be standing at the end of my bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, so it's different to returning, resurrection and all of that. The deeper part of it is that the spirit world will be completely free once this is set up. And just quickly, the other point is about low pressure. You heard Mother talk about setting up low pressure, and many people may understand that, but some people may not. And Father says things like, you can never perfect yourself through the power of positive thinking. So why is that? Because although it's good to be positive, it sets up a high pressure and nothing can come in. So the low pressure means about giving out your effort, wearing out yourself spiritually or physically, and that's the way God enters. That's the way things change. So in weather systems, there has to be a low pressure for the weather, for the air to come in and for the weather to circulate. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Actually, you made me think for a second then. about the process of physical world and spiritual world. Remember that it has to be established here on earth first before it's in the spirit world. So obviously they can't travel freely because we're not traveling freely around the world. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Doug. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I love the way God works his providence. It's so opposite Satan. Satan starts off with the big words and big splash, and then it dwindles down to nothing. But God always starts in a very small point. Like the big tree comes from a small seed, So if we to build such a huge thing as the International Highway, True Mother has shown us small seeds, ideas. The Peace Road bicycle is the small seed, so cute, so wonderful, and also the Peace Parks. I think that there's an alignment between, I wish to do a small seed educational thing where we could use the bicycle Peace Road idea and the Peace Parks and combine them, and to work on a 4 regional level, like start off in a city like Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane and do a combination Peace Road, Peace Park development and educational documentary made out of it by our own members. Even we can invite youth from South Korea and from America or anywhere in the world who just want to have a great experience traveling to Australia. Everyone loves to go to Australia, Maybe youth will, on their own money, just come here, and then we can start off having youth understand the value of both the Peace Road bicycle tour and the Peace Parks. Develop an educational situation where you have just the expense of one caravan with media, high tech, so that you can have the way to record it and upload it onto YouTube and help people see and understand. And most importantly, that once you get this little framework going, then they as a team can approach council after council. We have 500 councils in Australia, and they can go as a polished educational team and present these ideas from children all around the world, and you do it at the city level, then you do it at the state level, national level, and eventually even all of Oceania, something like that. But I think that's the way to start, with the small seed. Okay, that's all.
Thanks, Doug. Greg, go ahead, and then Seti after. Yes.
Oh, I think that's a really inspired idea, Doug, because John, you have the idea of the Peace Parks, but just linking that Peace Parks idea with the Peace Road, that really gives a lot more power to the Peace Parks as well, because it connects directly with True Parents' vision for, connecting the world. And then, ideas with, tourism and kids and bikes, as Doug was just saying. Anyway, a great idea, Doug. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Seti, go ahead.
Anything. Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so Doug's talking about our 2015 Peace Road project and also 2020, this Arirang Peace Road project. I think we'll put it up on YSB. Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Yeah. So in Samoa, we made a logo. So it's the Peace Road logo, but with a flame above the logo, which represents the Holy Spirit flame or the ball of fire. And we had we started in 2015 with that very thing that Doug's talking about. That's the vision that we had here in Samoa. was that we would start with one village, two village, and hotels and things all around this island of Savai'i, which is supposedly the cradle of the Pacific, where much of the migrations went out to the other islands or something. This is some one view on the Pacific migrations. The legendary Hawaii, some say that is Savai'i. But it's also the island where the Bible arrived and where the Bible was translated. Many spiritual things happened on that island for us in Samoa. And so 2015, we had the November 28th was when the Bible arrived in one of the villages. So we started with like 2 villages, that particular village and another village, and we worked with the schools and the churches and the chief elders. But it's exactly like what Douglas was talking about, to link up even like tourism, and the vision is one to eventually have like a big peace festival. We had renamed the island of peace, Savai'i Motul Filemu. But if you want to see, it's all on the YSP little videos that we put out. But yeah, and including also this indigenous Mongolian People's Peace Federation. This is really the vision that we're working on with partners in New Zealand and Australia and America. So yeah, I hope that Greg and others, they understand what I'm talking about when we try to promote these sort of things. But it's really like what Douglas is talking about, is to link up all, and many things can link up. We notice here in our peace projects that there's a lot of synergy that happens just naturally because of this concept of Peace Road. Anyway, thank you very much, and please check out the YSP and the videos on Peace Roads in Samoa, because I would really like to see, Oceania wide and Pacific Rim. What we see is it's a Pacific Rim thing, because also talking with the indigenous, with Dr. Kim, he mentioned that we need to liberate the Indians of North and South America. And unless we liberate those spirit worlds, all this racial issues in America will not go away. So I'm really happy that Dr. Kim is in South America at the moment, but I'm just, again, putting out to our leadership, Reverend Yutaka, and think that we really need to work together on this particular kind of vision that Douglas is talking about. And lots of things come from that. We notice locally, lots of things, lots of synergy naturally happens. We get to deal with people with money, the business people, and very naturally because of Peace Road. So yeah, I hope we can get serious on it. I'm glad that Greg got excited about that, because yeah, we can only do it together. It's much easier, but we've been trying for the last couple of years, and it's not easy, but when you find like-minded people, then it's really like a ball of fire. It just explodes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Reverend Ito, go ahead.
Thank you very much, everybody. And everything everywhere where true parents visit become described in the history. And in Russia, Father only visited officially in Moscow, but I tell you, Father tried to come to Kamchatka. This is not described. I was a pioneer to the Kamchatka Peninsula, just Alaska position in the United States. The Kamchatka is, very close to Bering Strait. This is 1993 to 1994. And end of my mission is there. And there's a suddenly direction come, Father will come to Kamchatka. You must, and the Father want to buy facility in Kamchatka. what Kamchatka, what kind of place? There is a, like you see the Hokkaido in Japan, there's the north part of the Hokkaido, you connected, this island, finally come to Kamchatka. So this is like a, very hot spring area, hot spring in the volcano and hot spring. So volcanology is very developed in Kamchatka, in Russia. And this is a, hot spring in the Tsar age of, Russia imperial age. There is a Tsar's family always come to Kamchatka to enjoy the volcano and hot spring. So we try to buy, the house for father, father stay in Alaska in Kodiak, and also in Russia side, if father bought the facility there, father come stay there. But in reality, after this, stop, okay, this program stop. Yeah, I just tell you, if father come, another story is coming, another history. But that place is very sensitive place, and the Cold War era, Russian nuclear submarine base there. There's all the missile, the face to United States. Just a very secret. When I was there, special Japanese like us, cannot enter just one bay. One side we do, and we do a lot of seminar for students, but other side we cannot go, prohibited, because this is a nuclear submarine base there. Also, same time, there's also a nuclear test waste, a nuclear waste, something there. So very sensitive place. When a Korean car shut down, in the up of the Russia, this is a MiG came from, also Sakhalin and Kamchatka, MiG to shut down Korean Peninsula, a car, when Hyojin supposed to enter, but the father said stop there. Yeah, very, I just tell you this is a hiding story. Father tried to make house and buy house to make foundation in Kamchatka. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Yes, Mr. Rai, go ahead. Be the last person.
Well, good morning. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ito-san. Such a very detailed visit Kamchatka, wants to visit Kamchatka, and many story. And so last night, we watched very straight presentation, and 12 o'clock. Thank you, Greg, recommended, and Thomas Walsh working hard for this webinar presentation. Invite, connect with actually people doing USA team, and also a Russian team, and quite many years. Then one of our US team, Rick, a quite young guy, and he went Russia, stayed 3 months living, and he find out, oh, nice people, we are same people. And then he started having kind of tears, like we are same people. I think that's kind of heart he has. And then there's a lot of, it's challengeable things. It's example for money, finance, need $100 billion, but they said that $100 billion is equivalent, same as 1 year World War. So they, we have to spend, for not the war, to the project. And so for Russia and for US, it's that projects, the mainly they are thinking railway, and showed us it's a kind of already existed railway. but a little bit different to the highway, but everything good for Russia and the USA, and also good for world peace. And very really nice people, and still I think they are keeping going. But the watching like yesterday's Joe Biden and Putin's meeting and how it's going, and they because top of the leader did not, having a unity, not so easy to happen, but always come to the political issue. It's U.S. and Russia, and how we can solve the political, and but also China's Belt and Road policy. I think they are centering on China and for all one nation's benefit, but the international highways are totally different. It's for truly world peace. I think it's a great spirit, I thought, and also so Dr. Walsh encourage sort of people doing some kind of to connect together, and it was great. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wright. Now it's time to do our unison prayer. I'll just share the screen. Let's pray together. Jew. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you tomorrow.
Same, Brother City.
Have a good day,
Have a
everyone.
good day, everyone.
Okay, have a good day, Brother City.
Take some vitamin C.
Bye-bye.
Take care, John.
Okay.
Fina.
Hello, Deborah.
Hi, Fina.
Hi, Kathy.
Thank you, everybody.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Yes. Yeah.
Bella.
Get your cold better, John.
Slowly get better. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.